y'all, it's Chris with Rockin 8 Farm. Why does it seem like all of my videos start with me walking from the house to the barn? I'm gonna wander out here, I'm gonna grab a few supplies, and then we're gonna get started on the project that we have planned for today. We're talking pigs a little bit today, we're talking orchards a little bit today. Let me grab my stuff and we'll get started. Sorry about that. So this is one of those projects that I don't necessarily need to jump on right now, but I don't have any other immediate projects that are just super concerning and have to get done. It is a project that I do want to get done before we get too far into winter, too close to Christmas. So, I mean, you know what I always say. Why put off until tomorrow what you already put off yesterday? All right, so what I've got going on is that right back there, I have a pig hut and a pig hay feeder and an area sectioned off where I have my breeding boar and my 2 barrows that are out on pasture right now. I've got the 2 mamas in the barn, Panchita, who just had her babies about a week ago, and Dot, who's due about mid-December. But what I need to start getting ready for is having multiple paddocks in multiple places. So the 2 barrows are going to processor on February 5th, 15th, somewhere in there. That's probably right about the time that I need to wean piglets off of Dot. So it's kind of a little bit of a mixed jumble. I need to have a place where I can move Panchita to and also move Güero in with her. That's my boar and my brand new sow, because she was a gilt before she had these babies, so that they can kind of start getting their action back on, and then Dot can come with them right around February 15th, and then I should be able to put a lot of piglets out where the barrows and my breeding boar were. So it's just kind of a jumbled pig game, but regardless, I need to have at least 2, if not 3 paddocks set up so I can have pigs in different places. Now this area right here that's between my road and out to my property line and kind of over towards this telephone pole, and then working its way back over towards the house, kind of back in this area here, is a really good place for me to set up a paddock. I've been working really hard on improving this pasture for quite some time. You know, come that spring-ish time, I'll have really good green grass growth here. So this is an area where I want to set up a paddock, but I've got one little problem. Can y'all even imagine what these pigs will do to my relatively new fruit trees if I just let them in here and let them have at it? I also can't imagine how much fun all of this irrigation spaghetti string would be to play with. So that means if I'm going to have pigs in here, I need to protect these young trees. Once these trees get fully established, they won't be reliant on irrigation as much anymore. I can probably just set up more of an irrigation type where it's like water with the hose, because they just won't need water as often once they're fully established. And also, once they're fully established, if a pig comes up and it's kind of rubbing on it a little bit, it's not going to be the end of the world. But not only are these pigs going to come up and try and rub on these trees, which is going to knock them right over, but curious little pigs like to do things like grab trees and just pull them right out of the ground if they can. So I was asking around a little bit with some of my friends in like my Idaho pasture pig groups and saying, hey, do any of y'all run your pigs in your orchards, and what do you do to protect your trees? And one person, shout out to Kirsten Boyer with Mouse Creek Farm, she just suggested pallets and T-posts, and we didn't really get any further into it. It was kind of one of those, like, a little bit of a dumb moment. I mean, it was like I was trying to figure out if there was some sort of a fancy tree wrap implement that I needed to look into purchasing. I just needed somebody to kind of give me that idea to get that creative fire going, and as soon as she said pallets and T-posts, I was like, okay, I've got this. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We are going to be creating some pig-resistant barricades. I will never say pig-proof, but some pig-resistant barricades for my young fruit trees so that I can incorporate a paddock for the pigs in an area that already has fruit trees in it. All right, this is going to require a little bit of trial and error. I've got some ideas in my head, but we're going to have to see if we can make it work, because I want to try and do this with 3 T-posts, even though I'm kind of planning on having to use 6. We'll see what happens. kind of see the theory behind this. I have enough T-posts here that I can theoretically put 2 T-posts for each pallet to slide it down over. But what I want to try to do, because then I've got twice as many T-posts to do twice as many trees, is put a T-post on each corner of the triangle that's created by the pallets. We're going to give this a go, give it a test, and kind of see how it goes. What you see behind me is the basic theory. I mean, 3 pallets stacked into a triangle. Triangles are typically pretty strong shapes. Basically, there's a T-post supporting each corner, and then by wire tying all of the pallets together with really heavy gauge wire, then the theory is that they shouldn't be able to uproot the whole thing. Pigs can be destructive in their rubbing, so it's like it needs to be able to kind of take a push. And then the other thing is, if there's something they want to get to, their noses are very tough, and they can... I've seen videos of pigs taking like horse fence or goat fence and just folding it up like an accordion, because those parts where the wire is twisted together are just not strong enough. That's why a lot of us use hog panels, because they're just tougher. So I'm not going to be able to stop pigs from using these as chew toys. They're definitely going to be rubbing on them, and one of the real tests is to kind of see like how much lift you can get out of it. Pigs are the only really true test, but I can kind of try to simulate it a little bit. All right, y'all, you know me, I'm nothing if not real. Obviously, you just saw me break this slat here. Well, we'll just have to get that figured out, won't we? The nice thing about having pallets is I've got about 1 million of these slats laying around, so we'll throw a couple more on here. You know, I mean, trying to simulate a pig with a tractor, I gave it a couple of pretty good shoves. Obviously, there's a lot of torque and a lot of weight behind that tractor. When I came over here on the corner and was kind of rubbing up and down with the bucket, I caught the end of this obviously and snapped it off, but it's not like it lifted right up off the T-posts, and it's not like I was able to lift the T-posts out of the ground. So I'm gonna have to say that we'll give it a try and see how it works, and that's about the best we can really kind of hope for when it comes to some of this livestock stuff, right? A simple idea, simple process, simple materials. I've got a ton of pallets laying around this farm, and we just made a score on a purchase of a whole bunch of used T-posts at an auction. So I've got T-posts, I've got pallets, and I've got trees that need protecting. So I guess we'll write this up as another pallet project, an orchard project, and yet another pig project. Thanks y'all for coming along. I hope that this could be something that can help y'all out in your orchards with your livestock. I'll update you and let you know how it goes. Until I see y'all again, this has been Chris with Rockin Farm. Be happy and live healthy.